Welcome to eThekwini Mental Podcast, where we bring you closer to the programs and policies shaping our city. I am your host, Simpio Lamini, and today we are tackling two topics that affects many households across eThekwini: municipal debt and the city's effort to ease that burden. Joining me today is Mr. Mxolisi, Deputy Director of Revenue Management Directorate, to unpack two key initiatives that include the debt relief program and the disease estate debt write-off. These two programs offer residents a chance to settle outstanding municipal debt and in some cases have portion written off, helping families move forward while supporting city services delivery goals. If you've been struggling with the municipal debt or you know someone who has, this episode is for you. Ms. Nkosi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dlamini.
Ms. Nkosi, let's start with revenue management. What do you do as revenue management?
Revenue management has got two major components. The first component deals with meter reading and billing, and the second component deals with debt management. I am more focused and placed on the debt management side.
Okay, now you mentioning debt. I know that you have come up with the debt relief program. Can you please unpack the debt relief program?
Thank you very much, Mr. Dlamini. The city has got a challenge of lots of customers who are unable to pay for services due to a number of reasons. So in order to try and meet those customers halfway, we have come up with this special debt relief program. And what the special debt relief program does is that it looks at your debt as at the 31st of January this year. And whatever you owed as at the 31st of January this year, you pay 50%. And after paying 50%, we immediately write off the other 50% of it. But it doesn't end there. We know that there is also another debt that you owe, which will be beyond the 31st of January. And what this special debt relief does is that it allows you to pay the balance in affordable, equal installments, interest-free, up to the 30th of June 2026.
So, who qualifies for this debt relief program?
We can respond it in that way, or we can say who doesn't qualify, because that's the easier one. Every customer of eThekwini qualifies for the special debt relief program, except for the organs of state, that is government departments, national and provincial, or any other state-owned entities. But commercial, residential, and any other businesses, they qualify for the special debt relief program.
Okay, let's break it down now. So I owe municipality 10,000.
Yes.
So you write off 5,000, and then what happens with the remaining 5,000?
Let's do it this way, Dlamini, maybe to simplify it. You currently owe the city 20,000. But as at the end of January, you are owing the city 15,000. So we'll take the 15,000 as at the end of January. We'll divide it into two. It will give you 7,500. You'll pay 7,500. We'll write off 7,500. There is a balance of the amount owing now, which will be 5,000, taking from the 20,000. And the 5,000 that is owing, we say what is affordable to you, and you've got until June 30, 2026 to pay off that amount. And it's interest-free. Remember, we charge interest as a municipality if you've got an amount outstanding.
So what happens to the monthly? Because I still have to pay services every month. As much as I'm owing, now I've entered into an agreement to pay this debt, but I still have to pay for services every month. So what happens there?
That is correct, Mr. Dlamini. You have to honor the payment plan, plus also pay for your current charges. So whatever your current charges are, you have to pay for them. But what used to happen in the past, Mr. Dlamini, which we have stopped now, was that with the previous debt reliefs that we had, if you defaulted for whatever reasons, the amount that the council had written off would actually come back and be added into your debt. With this one, what is special is that even if you default, we will deal with you using other credit control measures, but we are not going to bring back the amount that the council has written off, because we really want to meet people way in assisting them to pay off the debt that is owed to the council.
Okay, so I think that is very good, because people were very worried about that. That if I default, then it means that the debt will then be reinstated. And then in terms of now applying for this debt relief program, what do I do? Do I come to the offices? Can I do it online? How do I approach?
Unfortunately, despite trying, we were unable to facilitate an online application. But as revenue management, we've got about 32 revenue management centers within eThekwini. Our colleagues from ABM has got about the same number of Sizakala centers. So both our revenue management centers and the Sizakala centers have been trained and are equipped to assist people with this service. So you can go to the nearest Sizakala center, or you can go to the nearest revenue management center, and they will be able to assist you. In very few cases where you are bringing in a very complex issue, there is an office that is dealing with that, and they're based on the third floor at Florence Mkhize building. But that will be on rare occasions for complex cases.
Now, Mr. Kosi, I have a property in Durban, currently residing in Cape Town. How do I then access or apply for the debt relief program? I don't reside in Durban anymore, but I want to participate and I want to get assistance in terms of this debt relief program.
Yeah. In the past, we've been strict with these things, because customers will raise a number of complaints and say, we didn't allow a person to do that. In the past, if you were not around the city and you needed this done, we would want you to ask someone who is in Durban to do it for you, but that person would have had to come up with a power of attorney that says you've given them the rights to do that. We don't need that. They can just come with an account. You can ask a friend, a neighbor, everyone that you know who is in Durban to say, go and apply for this for me, and we will do it. For tenants, in the past, we have said we want a valid lease agreement. Bring a valid lease agreement, and we'll only look at it under those circumstances. We are saying to people, even without a valid lease agreement, we can come and we will do the 50% for you. The difference, Mr. Dlamini, with the tenants is that the tenants cannot enter into a payment plan. So when the tenant comes in to do this special debt relief program, we expect them to pay the full amount in full, because only the property owner can then enter into a payment plan that will allow you to pay in installments until June next year. That's the difference. But we've really tried to relax most stringent rules that we've put in place, because we realized that some of them were actually preventing people from taking advantage of this program.
So a tenant cannot enter into a payment agreement or plan, but I can send a brother or a sister to enter into the agreement on my behalf.
Yes, you may. And the reason we're saying that to tenants is this. If you allow a tenant to do that, the tenant assumes certain powers on behalf of the landlord. And whenever there are fights between the landlord and the tenant, some of the tenants would actually use the argument that I've had the power to enter into a payment plan on behalf of the landlord. That's why we don't want to get into that space. But if the tenant comes in, we expect them to pay everything in full and final settlement, because they can pay, they can come into 50%, but they must pay the full amount. They can't pay a portion over an extended period of time.
Okay. This is a very good initiative, Mr. Nkosi. Are people taking advantage of this? How much have you collected thus far as a city? People are actually taking advantage of this debt relief program.
It's too early to tell, Mr. Dlamini. Remember, there are three important dates for us as a debt collection. The first important date is the 15th of every month, because that's when the first salaries in the country are paid. The second important date will be the 25th of every month. Lots of people get paid on that date. And the third one will be the last 2 days of the month, the 30th and the 31st. We've just gone past the 15th at the moment, so we haven't checked as to how it's performing. But we'll be able to tell after the first month. So I can't give you a solid answer that it is bearing results. But we hope it will, judging from the previous one that we had, which ran only for 45 days. But in those 45 days, we were able to raise 1.1 billion, and we were able to write off the same amount of money. We haven't put in the figures specifically on this one as to what is our expectation in terms of collection, but we are definite that we are going to collect more than what we did during the months of May and June, if not double it.
So you've got the debt relief program, but also you've got the deceased estate debt write-off program. Can you please unpack that for me?
Mr. Dlamini, what we did is that at some stage, because you've got a huge debtors book, and from time to time you have to conduct an in-depth analysis of that debtors book, so that you get a better understanding of who owes you, how much they owe you, and why they are owing you and not able to pay. So during the detailed analysis that we did, we discovered that the bulk of our money, in actual fact 71%, is owned by residential. But of that bulk 71, we came up with about 350,000 households that owes us just over 2 billion. And those households in the main were in the townships, Phoenix, Chatsworth, KwaMashu, Umlazi, Ntuzuma, and so on. But when we zoomed into the property owners of those properties that owed us debt, we discovered that the owners of those properties were deceased and had been deceased for a very long time. And that's when we put a proposal to the council to say, there's no chance of recovering this money because these people have been deceased for a long time. Can we enter into a program of writing off the debt? The council looked at it and the council said, fine, you can do it, but you can do it under these conditions. Now, these are the conditions under which we deal with the debt relief. One, the property owner or the person who owes the council,
the deceased estate.
The deceased estate, yes. The property owner of the deceased estate should have been deceased for 2 years by the 29th of August 2024. So that person should have been deceased for 2 years by the 29th of August 2024. And that was very specific. It was to avoid a situation whereby someone would die today and people will just hang back and not pay the monies and wait for that person to be deceased for 2 years and then come and ask us to write off the money. That is one. The second one was that we said the property value must be 1 million or less. We can't write off the debt for a property that is more than 1 million, simply because the assumption is that the deceased, if that property that was valued at more than a million, they would have left something, they would have had a will, and they would be able to take care of the municipal debt. But from 1 million and below, it becomes a problem. So that was the other thing. And the third thing was that if we write off this debt, we must put in place controls to make sure that we don't have a similar situation whereby 10 years down the line, we are writing off the same debt. We then said the surviving members of that family must identify someone who will come to the council and say, now that you've written off the debt of this particular person who died 2 years ago, I am taking over. I will take care of the account, I will pay, and I give the council all the powers to sue me, to use any of its credit control processes to collect from me if I fail to pay. So we are certain that those that we've written off now, those who took over, one will be able to pay for us, and one, they've given us the powers to actually apply all the credit control processes to them if they fail to pay.
So this is specific to individual household and in businesses.
No, businesses do not qualify for the deceased estate.
Okay.
It's for residential household. And it was trying to address that other issue. I said in the debtors book, I think 2% is government debt, and 10% or so is commercial, and about 78% is residential. So we are trying to meet those people in residential areas halfway. That's why the deceased estate is targeting them. And we are happy that we have exceeded the 1 billion that we had analyzed. And we are happy that it is actually assisting people from not so affluent areas, particularly from townships, both African and Indian townships.
So the municipality recent announced that it has a new banking partner. So how does it affect me as a resident in terms of paying for my bills, and who's that banking partner now?
We have moved from Nedbank to FNB. We just had a meeting now. There are challenges with some of the payments, and as a result of that, we are going easy on the disconnections because we understand that other people might have paid through Nedbank. Yes, there are sweepings that are done daily, moving monies from Nedbank to FNB so that they can be reconciled and we can know exactly how much Mr. Dlamini has paid. But because of those delays, we are not going hard on the disconnections, lest we disconnect someone who has paid, but the money is not showing because they've paid through Nedbank. You'll note that when it comes to payment through EFTs, people will load the banking details of the municipality in their cell phone, and every time they pay, they will use that old bank account. But we'll just want to warn people that that sweeping arrangement with Nedbank will only last for 3 months. So after 3 months, there will be no payments through Nedbank. We want people to go and load the new banking details with FNB and begin to pay us with FNB. The advantage of paying directly to FNB is that overnight, we are able to see who has paid. We are able to credit your account with that one, and it prevents any disconnection, and it prevents you being charged interest on the debt that you owe to the council.
Maybe is there any information that you want to share with our viewers as well?
Look, for us, the main information is that we would want customers to pay. And the mayor always says a happy customer is a paying customer. And the happiness or unhappiness of the customer begins with high bills. And as I indicated earlier on, if we can cooperate with each other on the reading of the actual consumption, I don't even want to say meter reading, on reading of the actual consumption, so that when you get the bill, you can say, this is indeed the amount of water that I've consumed. This is indeed the amount of electricity that I've used, and therefore I'm prepared to pay. If we can get that cooperation from customers, I think all our problems will be resolved.
Mr. Nkos, thank you so much for coming through, and we just hope that people will take advantage of the debt relief program as well as the deceased estate debt relief program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dlamini.
Well, that's all we had for you on this episode. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good evening.